Israel says it will reopen Gaza's Rafah crossing with Egypt in the coming days, but only for Palestinians leaving the Strip. The UN is urging for it to be fully opened for humanitarian aid and for Palestinians who've left to be able to return to Gaza. Egypt has denied it's coordinating with Israel on the reopening. Noor O'Day reports.
Palestinians in Gaza need any news of progress or breakthrough. Instead, they got this. Israel announcing it will allow the Rafah crossing to open in the coming days exclusively for the exit of Palestinians from Gaza if they pass Israeli security clearance. This is the opposite of what the ceasefire agreement says, and it reignites fears that Israel is still determined to ethnically cleanse Gaza. Israel was supposed to allow Palestinians free movement in and out of Gaza through the Rafah crossing. The primarily passenger border with Egypt has been sealed since Israel invaded Rafah and demolished the crossing last year, allowing only a limited number of patients to cross through Rafah during the ceasefire in January. The WHO says upwards of 16,000 Palestinians need immediate medical evacuation from Gaza.
Our sons and daughters left Gaza for treatment and have not been able to return yet.
The Rafah crossing is not just a lifeline for the injured. Thousands of Palestinians want to leave for work or study, and tens of thousands have signed up to return to Gaza. Egypt has fired back, saying if an agreement is reached to reopen the Rafah crossing, passage will be in both directions. Israel has tied its non-compliance with the return of all the bodies of captives. The search for the last body continues. Palestinians want to deny Israel any pretext. Opening the Gaza crossings is not an issue for travel for them, but of survival. Noor O'Day, Al Jazeera, Palestine.
Let's take a closer look at the Rafah border with Egypt in southern Gaza. It's the Strip's only crossing that doesn't pass through Israel. For years, it served primarily for the movement of people. Before the war, the crossing was jointly managed by Palestinian and Egyptian authorities in coordination with Israel. But that changed last year when the Israeli army stormed and occupied the Palestinian side of the Rafah crossing, destroying infrastructure and closing the border altogether. Well, Palestinians fear Israel is making empty promises to reopen the crossing. Hind Al-Khudari reports from Gaza City.
There's a lot of concerns and questions, and Palestinians have been promised that the Rafah crossing is going to be open for the past couple of months and since the beginning of the ceasefire, but Palestinians did not see anything implemented on the ground. Now, number one is, how will Palestinians even make it to the Rafah crossing itself? The Rafah is under control of the Israeli forces and also under the yellow line where no one is able to reach the area. The process itself, who's supposed to leave, who is going to get the permission to leave, is also another question. And a lot of Palestinians have a lot of concerns. So we're only allowed to get out and empty the Gaza Strip, and no one is supposed to go back, where there are thousands of Palestinians also in Egypt stuck and waiting for the Rafah crossing to open, where they want to reunite with their families. We're also talking about medical evacuation, students, a lot of Palestinians who really want to leave Gaza Strip as soon as possible to continue their future and also to get their medical treatment. But also there's something very not understood, where in the past couple of hours, the Israeli media have been saying that Rafah is actually a battlefield. So how come all of this is happening where there are still ongoing fighting in Rafah and the Israeli forces are saying that they want to open the Rafah crossing? There is a little bit of fear that this is only talks over the social media and that Palestinians won't be able to have their freedom of movement, or if this is only a new process and tactic to empty the Gaza Strip.
Israeli forces have killed at least 5 Palestinians in Khan Yunis in southern Gaza, including 2 children. It's the latest violation of the ceasefire. The military carried out multiple drone strikes on tents housing displaced civilians in Al-Mawasi. Israel says those strikes are in response to an earlier attack near Rafah in which 4 soldiers were injured. Israeli forces have violated the ceasefire agreement around 600 times since it went into effect in October.